Welcome. This is the Berlin Cable Access meeting. We are doing it virtual once again because of our situation with COVID numbers rising, and the town has asked that we do it virtual once again. So we are home and meeting virtual. Can I say virtual one more time?
Yes, please.
I'd like to take a roll. Who is here? The committee member, Roger Bradley. Can you
Here.
say hello? And our station manager, Brittany Blaney.
Here.
You're here. So we are all in attendance. Is there anyone from the audience here?
No, I don't believe so.
I think we
No,
have
it's just us three.
attendees. Okay, so we are ready to begin. I can read last time. I apologize. I don't know what happened, but I guess I totally spaced out on the day forgot the day that we're supposed to meet in November. I had another meeting, so I apologize for
No
not
worries.
attending. So I'll have to read the minutes from October 28th, and we can approve the minutes. This was the meeting of October 28th. Brittany has contacted the procurement officer again, and the procurement officer has not responded. It will be worked out for the next month. This is 2 months later, so hoping that's a go. There is a concern of supply shortage because of the additional equipment that may be needed, so we need to get going on that. A job listing is still low on our job listing. Our posting is still low on the list of open jobs on the town job lists, employment list. We have gotten no reply from Council on Aging about the camera for yoga. This was in October. The town meeting is all set for live coverage, which will be much easier November 8th at 7 p.m. set up at 5 p.m. in Berlin Memorial School. Halloween parade will be covered and taped for YouTube. List of meetings are in person, conservation, board of health, library, cemetery meeting. We were adjourned at 6:36. May I make a motion, or may I ask for a motion that the minutes be accepted?
I make a motion that the minutes of October 28th are true and correct, I guess. I don't know.
Thank you. I will second that motion that the minutes are accepted, and I will put those into my town government.
What were those? October 28th?
October 28th, yes. I'm afraid that was October 28th. So I will start a new file for today's. All right. So for today is December 23rd. And it is 6:21. Minutes are accepted. Oops, not me. And do we have old business like the procurement officer? Is there
Yes.
more news on that front?
I did hear back from the procurement officer at the end of November with a draft thing that had been made up. And I got back to her, and we've sort of been going back and forth. It's just a little, I'm unfamiliar with it. I haven't done this before, but basically you list items that you want, but you can't list exactly what you want. So for example, we already bought the Sony cameras, but if we were wanting to buy PTZ cameras, we couldn't put on the list exactly what kind of camera we want, a Sony, whatever. You would just put PTZ camera, and then I guess they just suggest something and you hope they suggest what you want. I'm not sure. It's a little confusing to me, because also some of the scope of this, not all of it, but some of the scope of this is a little bit over my head. as far as like, I'm not familiar with there's like different ways for them to send camera controls over Ethernet or audio over Ethernet. And I haven't done that before, and I'm not 100% familiar with it. So I sort of rely on the vendors to kind of make suggestions. But with this sort of format, I'm supposed to be
The one that
knowing
knows all that.
exactly. Yeah. So it's like, I'm just a little, I don't know.
Do you have a contact that can give you all that?
Well, we had originally gotten those 3 quotes beforehand. So I have sort of an idea. So it's kind of, I just wanted to know what I'm kind of waiting to hear back what sort of flexibility is available for us as far as
Mhm.
like, I don't know, say that like, I decide I want to convert the HDMI to SDI and then send it, or I just want to send SDI or whatever, like, and Margaret had
Yeah.
said something like that. I forget exactly what the terminology was. She was basically saying like something similar. Items can be swapped or something, like if there's some, as long as once we have our vendor, as long as like the vendor and we're both in agreement, we can swap items for other like-ish items. So I'm not
How
exactly
can-
sure.
How can
Go
even the
ahead.
town be that particular when they don't have an idea of what really needs to be done? Shouldn't they just be worried about the money cost or the bottom line?
I don't
Not
know.
exactly the-
I'm supposed to like be listing some pretty specific stuff, so I'm not sure.
Really?
I
That sounds-
was just asking Margaret, I haven't heard back yet, but like if we put something on the list and we decide, oh, we don't actually want it, are we obligated to purchase it anyways? Like if we change our mind, or if we decide like, this isn't the route we want to take, we want to do this other thing, we may have to do, I don't know if we'll have to do the process again or what.
Oh
So
my goodness.
it's like, it's really complicated, but I'm working it out. We're working on it. We are much further ahead than we were 6 months ago. So it's all right. I'm handling it. It's just, I'm just a little like, I don't know, trepidatious. I just haven't done it this way before. Usually like the vendors make the recommendations. I don't tell the vendors what I want. I mean, I tell the vendors like what I want to accomplish, and then they say, here, this is how you accomplish what you want.
But I thought the procurement officer had, because I thought we had all the equipment, and I thought the
We don't
procurement
have
officer.
all the equipment.
So how do we even get that equipment without having
We
the?
purchase that on our own, which we can do.
I thought she had to do with the labor. I didn't think she had to do with the equipment.
I mean, we could separate the two, where we get all the equipment ourselves and we just contract the labor, but that's still gonna, we still would need a vendor involved, so I know which equipment I need to buy. You know, like some of the stuff is very obvious to me, and I know, like PTZ cameras, I get that. The
So
video switcher, I understand, like, you know.
So the procurement officer is a second look on the vendor. Is that it? Is that what they're trying to do? They're trying to oversee what you're doing with the vendor.
I guess. I mean, she's the one that like puts out this thing for bid. Like, I can't put it out for bid. She has to.
So she's trying to get all the pieces together to put it out for bid,
Yes.
and hoping that we get this vendor will actually be the vendor that we work with.
Yes.
Since that's the vendor that knows what we need.
Well, we have 3 vendors that know what we need that I had met with before and gotten quotes from before.
It seems like there's an egg before the chicken kind of thing going on here.
A little bit, yeah. I don't know how other places normally do this. It
Yeah.
seems backwards to me, but
It seems backwards to me too,
But,
because you would think that you need a vendor to actually tell you what they need before you actually go out for bid for the things that you need.
yeah.
Like,
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna talk with one of the vendors hopefully over the next week or two and see if they can give me a little bit clearer picture of what I might need or want to do. But I'm working on it. It's going to get taken care of one way or the other. It's new to me, so it's a little rougher than I expected, that's all. But it's in motion finally, so.
Hopefully you're getting some good knowledge you can use other places.
Well, yeah, I mean, you learn stuff every time you do a project like this, so I definitely will like learn something.
That's the spirit.
Does this affect the way you've come up with a budget?
This? No.
Okay.
So that actually is a good question, though. Are we on task and on schedule so that we can get this done before town meeting? And now tonight we need to do the budget.
So,
Because and I think you saw the strong, once again, the warning that we need to have to spend this money before June so that
yes.
we don't have to request more money.
So I don't know, because I don't know how long this process of putting together the procurement thing is going to take. I've never done it before, so.
Is there any way that you can stress to the procurement officer that we are in this situation and that this is the second year that we're going through trying to finish the project? And
Yeah.
So we need.
I will. I'm gonna inquire as to like I had before asked about like how long it took, and I think it was like 30 days for the bids to come in or something like that. It's just a matter of, I think it'll be a matter of us settling what's on that document and then how quickly it gets out. And I mean, basically, the vendors we already worked, that I already got the quotes from, are familiar with the project, so I shouldn't need to meet with them again. I would just give them that procurement sheet and they would adjust whatever they have that they need to submit. So that portion I don't anticipate taking long. And then and then I don't know who decides what vendor we choose. Like, does the board get to decide, or does the procurement officer decide, or does the select board decide, or the finance committee? Who has final say there? And then if that's the case, how long is it going to take them?
Right.
That's kind of my question, is just what's the process once we get those bids in? And then as soon as we settle on a vendor, then we can schedule them. And my guess is they're probably scheduling somewhere between a month and 2 months out.
I thought the way that the warrant works, it's to be expended by the cable committee.
Oh, okay, that's a good point. Yep.
So the
Okay.
cable committee would decide?
I believe so, but I don't know with the procurement officer thrown into the mix. I don't know how that works.
I can get answers to those questions.
Yes, especially since they're expecting a budget. Yesterday, apparently.
December
Oh, it
6th.
was, yeah, it was way more than yesterday.
Yeah.
I did not get any notice until.
Oh, that's because they only send it physical piece of paper, yet you're not supposed to be in the town building. So good luck with that.
That's kind of what I just said tonight. But
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, so procurement's underway. I'm gonna do everything in my power to expedite it. I will keep you updated. Right now, we have I would say a almost complete document. We had Margaret made a rough draft. I made some changes to it and asked her a few questions. She answered those questions. So I had a few additional changes to it, and now I'm waiting to hear back. But I believe we're close to having that ready.
Sounds good. I'm sorry. This is a lot to have to try and.
But you
Right.
can make like a dumbed down version. This is being recorded, so if somebody really wants to know what we said,
I
they can
know.
just watch it on YouTube.
It is pretty dumb, believe me. Gonna have to be edited. Okay. All right, so I guess our next topic is budget. Am I correct?
Yep.
Right. So Brittany, were you able to, I did find
what?
the also paper that June said that we're supposed to have. I didn't get anything like officially stamped from the town after the town meeting.
Right. So
I just
it's
have-
just the workshop, apparently.
Just this, which was marked up and highlighted. And a little bit changed, I think, from what we put in, but there was no explanation.
Okay, so I've made a draft for this fiscal year. Hold on, I even have a draft budget narrative in the works, so that'll be easy. I'll take care of the budget narrative as soon as this is done with. So let me share my screen.
Do we need a budget narrative?
Yep.
Because there's changes? I thought it was only if there's large.
No, I think it was regardless, wasn't it?
I thought it was only if there was large increases, but
If this was a digital document, I could do Control F and search it, but I have to look.
if you've done it, I would put it in. I wouldn't.
It's like 2 paragraphs. It's easy enough to do, so it doesn't hurt to include it. Do you see my desktop okay?
Yes. Maybe I should get rid of my notes.
Okay. Don't worry, I made like a bazillion copies of this budget worksheet, so this is just a scrap one. So last year, part-time wages 7,215, but I don't know if is minimum wage going up again?
Yes,
It is.
first of the year, $15 an hour, I believe.
They should have, shouldn't they have that in those worksheet papers there? No?
I mean, look at what you're supposed to read. Like, and I can't emphasize how difficult it is to read something off of a neon pink piece of paper.
Oh yeah, I got my neons over here. She had sent.
Payroll worksheet, but
Payroll and
I don't have a payroll worksheet in here.
Yeah, there's a pink one and a yellow one and a blue one from last
I
year.
didn't get, I only got these for 5 documents. And the payroll worksheet is not in here. I don't see anything about. Oh wait, here we go. Payroll requests for non-union, non-contract employees must reflect a 2% increase over current approved FY22 rates unless and until further instructions are issued. They have to have a 2% increase? Exception, the state's minimum wage will increase from $14.25 to $15. the calendar year 2023 minimum wage adjustment must be included for positions paid at minimum wage. All right, so that needs to be adjusted then.
Go. First one.
So if we were doing 7215 at 14.25 an hour, it's 506 hours. So 506 hours times 15 is 7,590. Oops. Okay, so that reflects an increase of $375. Okay. All right, so for contracted services last year, we had 30,000 estimated and approved, but looking at expenses so far this year, to date right now, for what I've billed, it's 34,150. And when I average that out over 11 months, it's roughly $3,100 per month. And then if I do,
Times 12.
oops, yeah, 3,100 times 12, we're looking at 37,200. So, and the, I mean, the explanation for that is that the total meeting coverage has been maintained, but now stuff is happening in person. So that's why it's higher than it was last year and why it's higher than we anticipated.
Mhm,
Because
that's fine.
the Zoom meetings have remained, but for example, the 19 Carter concerts and the school concerts and all that stuff. So that's an increase, and that's definitely an increase over, what was it? 2.5% was what they were.
Oh, they only want a 2.5%.
No, bottom line department increase.
I don't
2.5.
think we have to, I don't think we should really consider that. Especially since we're not really
Yeah,
taking money out
but-
of the budget.
yeah, but it's just bottom line. So this, I mean, I would mention it in the budget narrative, but
Right.
that in particular shouldn't be an issue because it's just the bottom line numbers. I carried over postage and office supplies, the same totals as last year. Our total from last year included 20,000 for the meeting room, whatever. So we had a total, actually, the thing she sent me was really confusing. I wasn't 100% sure, but anyways, I know that in FY21, our total budget was 59,000. So I'm assuming we're supposed to be around there for FY23, right? Where we were in 21.
Taking out the 20,000 because that's the
Right.
project. Yeah.
Right, because we're not carrying that every year. So, but we did just adjust Rogers, so that number would change slightly. So if we were going for,
But you took out the other services too.
well, I just left that blank because I wasn't sure where we wanted to put the different amounts. So give me a sec here. So Rogers, 750.90. I'm 37 plus another 1,000. So that gets us to 45,790. And if we wanted to be where we were in FY21,
See,
That's-
my thought process always is to try and be able to have the access to the money as best possible. And I think
right, to
making
just
sure that
be able to have it.
we pad our budget as much as we can so that we have easy access rather than having to request it.
So I guess, how do we pitch that? Because like,
Saying in case of situations where we don't know if our equipment is going to fail, we need to make sure we have money in the budget to replace it. That's what I think.
okay,
We've never really had to explain that. It's just now.
no, they've
so-
never actually made us explain it, have they?
But that's my thought process. And I think it just makes it easier for everybody to make sure that it's there in that budget so that we can have access, so that we
So
don't
would you
have to-
want to just put another 20 here
I
again?
would actually, yes.
Roger, what do you think?
Yeah, yeah. Better to have too much than not enough.
Right, because it'll just go back in anyways, and
Right.
you know,
Right,
it doesn't get spent.
so then do you want to shoot for the 59,520 outside of the 20,000? So like
Yeah.
our total would be 79,520 or whatever?
Yes.
What is the other supplies at 25,820?
I have no idea. It was what got us to our number, I guess.
What do you mean, what other supplies?
Yeah.
Here,
there's
this, right here.
That number there.
Oh, that means
I think that was just a random number that
that's my padding.
that's some.
Okay,
That's in case, you know, like the server flakes out or a computer flakes
Mhm.
out, or there's a like math, you know, there's a fire, or, you know, any kind of anything, you know, it could happen. And then they don't want us to have to come back to a town meeting just to get access to our money.
Right,
So
Yeah,
right.
that's my thoughts. That's really my thought.
I don't know how much it costs for a new server, but.
Like 30,000.
Yeah, so.
That, I mean, that,
And ours is
Right.
old. At some point, we are going to need to replace it.
right, right,
Yes, we are. That will happen.
right.
So, to get us to, that would be. Like, why isn't this an Excel spread worksheet? It's stupid.
No comment.
Just like I'm typing like with the type tool in Adobe. Okay. So that would get us to our total from FY20. Sorry, with that 20,000, it's 79.
I was gonna say,
Apologies.
yeah. Should be something. Now, why did you put 13 on the other supplies?
Because that just gets us to that 59,520.
All right,
Like if I add this, and this, then we get 59,520. And then we add that other 20,000 and that's 79,520. But I'll put in whatever you like. I was just trying to like make things sort of
And
even
the
out.
other expenses is for,
Potential, whatever we need
Okay.
for the
Yeah.
upgrade, I think.
I thought the other supplies was for that, but.
Well,
Both are.
supplies, I mean, they both are, but supplies is like stuff,
Like-
like
Yeah,
physical
like
things, but
batteries and
we would need, we put other expenses just because it's like, it just kind of,
there's major equipment, like supplies are more things that you use in the office or to go to different places, but other expenses to me, 20,000 is for a major equipment failure or expense.
Mhm.
Okay, that makes
That's my
sense.
thought process.
Yeah.
All right, so in the event, well, if there's unforeseen expenses with our meeting room upgrade and or,
Yep.
you know, making the argument that our server is on the older side and will need to be replaced at some point.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely. That can be in the narrative.
Yeah, I'll put that in
Yeah.
there.
I don't think that should be a problem.
No, I don't think they haven't given us a hard time about anything before, have they?
No, it just like this, just this sheet, which you have too from last time, has all these
Yeah.
weird markings.
Scribbles
that
on it.
Yeah.
I know, and they don't make a ton of sense. The math
No,
doesn't come out right.
it didn't make sense to me either, but
Well, I added them up, you know, the other day, and I was like, wait, that's not the right amount. It's like, I don't know. They do some other kind of math that I'm unfamiliar with.
yeah. Yeah.
So are you guys okay with this?
Yes.
Or do you want to make changes? So if you're okay with it, then I think you just need to like vote on it.
All right, I propose, oh, do you want to propose, Roger? Go ahead. You propose.
I'll make a motion that we accept the budget as we're viewing. Or as proposed, I guess.
I second it, and that means it is
It's approved. I will send it.
Approved
Do I
and-
send it or do you send it? Who sends it? Do
I
you send
think-
it, Pat?
I think you have to
Probably.
sign it.
Yeah, I probably have to sign it.
Okay. So I'll write this up nice and pretty, scan it, and send it to you so you can sign it. And I'll finish the budget narrative tonight, so I'll send that with the scanned thing. That's easy. I'll take care of it.
Sounds good. Excellent.
I don't know. I could give you an update of like good stuff we've done. So besides like plugging away at meetings, as we do, since we last met, we have put out 5 yoga episodes, 2 Council on Aging programs that they did like via Zoom. One was, oh crap, one was Mass Brigham something, some hospital thing. And the other one was an elder law attorney presentation. We had 3 leftover concerts that needed to be edited from the 19 Carter series. We got those up.
Yeah. Go a little bit slow. Wait a minute. We got 5 yoga, Mass Brigham Elder Show.
There was,
2 COA shows.
yeah, you just say 2 like Zoom COA shows. They were just like informational presentation type programs that were
And then
done.
what was the next one?
19 Carter, 3 19 Carter concerts. We had live streamed them and everything, but then I go back and like cut out the lulls and make it sound nice and all that jazz. And excuse me, they had kind of gotten backed up and I finished them up.
Sounds good. Excellent.
We covered the turkey trot for the elementary school.
I saw that. Very
Um,
funny.
we missed the trick or treat, or not the trick or treat, the Halloween costume parade, unfortunately. My guy had his times wrong. He thought it was in the afternoon. So we didn't get that one.
It wasn't in the afternoon?
No, it was in the morning.
Oh, okay.
We covered the Veterans Day concert at Berlin Memorial. So they had a concert for Veterans Day, the Veterans Day program, but it was no audience. So we live streamed the program
Oh,
so
that's
that
nice.
people at home could watch it. And obviously we recorded it so then it could be watched later.
Oh, that's nice.
And actually we did the exact same thing this morning for their winter concert, because again, there was no audience. So we live streamed it for the parents to watch.
Wow, that's very nice.
And
That's very nice of you.
and we edited it. I rushed and edited it this afternoon, so it's up on YouTube now. So anybody that wasn't able to catch the live stream can watch the finished product.
Very nice.
We did the COA director did like a little promo video for the Twinkle tour, like informational or whatever. We edited that piece and got it up, and then we also went around to the different houses and businesses that were participating and, you know, did a program out of that. Also, I think they're calling it Holidays in Berlin now, the replacement to the Christmas time in Berlin or whatever. So they did that this year, so we covered that as well. So there's a program up for that. And that's it, besides the just plugging away at meetings.
That's great. That's great. I was wondering about the holidays in Berlin.
Yep, that's up on our YouTube channel. It came out pretty good.
Nice.
Didn't you also do some sort of interview with the veterans?
I did. It's not, the editing isn't completed yet. There's some kind of problem with the new Final Cut update, the editing software that I use, the update, and like it just kept crashing and crashing and crashing. So I've been, yeah, it was really bad. So I've been using, I found an older version of Final Cut and I've been editing that on the laptop when I have time, but just things have been extremely busy with all the holiday stuff and everything that I just, and the veterans interview thing was like a really big project. It was, how many cameras was it? 6 cameras and
Oh,
like
wow, that's cool.
8 microphones. Well, it's just like, it's a big job. And like
Right.
editing with that is a lot of, it takes a lot of work.
Yeah, definitely.
But I want to, I'm taking my time on it because I want it to come out really nice, because the one that I did last year, I think came out really well, and I wanted to put out something of similar quality. So,
Great.
I mean, I could have thrown the veterans thing together, but I want to do a good job.
Yeah, sounds great. It'll be something that people can watch when it gets
Yeah.
cold and no one's going out.
And I will urge the organizer of that, the last 2 Veterans Day programs or veterans programs to get things in motion a little bit earlier.
Yeah, we need to advertise all this great stuff too. Like
Well, I posted to Facebook.
that'll be great. Yeah, advertise and get
Yeah,
the word
whenever
out to
we
people
whenever we post a video to YouTube, I always post a link on Facebook as well. But I should some of those holiday ones I should post on the Berlin Neighbors Connect. I forget about that sometimes.
Yeah, be excellent.
But
Excellent.
that's what I've been up to.
That's a lot of work. Yes, that's a lot of work. So also didn't we just get an announcement that everybody's gonna go virtual again?
Yes. So I don't know. I'm not exactly 100% sure how that's going to work, but I just recorded the cemetery commission meeting Tuesday in person. So I don't know.
And I have some, I put them on the desk for minutes that I recorded.
Hours.
Hours for meetings for November and December.
Okay. So Roger's hours are there.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Put those in. Uh-oh.
What?
I So is there any way you can email me that, or?
Me, I can email them, yeah, I guess. It's just, I had 13 hours in November and 4.5 hours in December.
And no hours for the foreseeable future.
That's right.
Sorry. I gave you everything I could. There just wasn't a
Oh,
lot.
that's okay.
Is that
Also,
enough? 13 hours in November and what?
13 hours in November and 4.5 hours in December.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't, it's not posted yet, but we also covered the swearing in ceremony at the police chief.
Yes, I did just found out
Yeah,
who our new police chief is.
that one isn't completely finished editing, but it's close to it. It should, I imagine it'll be up like probably tomorrow.
When did he get sworn in?
I think it was, I don't want to say and be wrong. I thought it was early this week. Yeah, Monday. Yeah, it was on Monday. So they had a little ceremony in the fire department garage space.
Nice.
Oh, and the old equipment that you want us to dispose of?
Yeah.
Brittany, can you just, I don't want to walk out with a box of remote controls and somebody says, hey, what are you doing with that? Can
You want
we
me to
just,
put them in a box?
yeah, yeah, and just write a list of the things that we're gonna throw away and submit it to Margaret?
Okay.
Just say it has no value.
Yeah. Yeah, I
That's
can do
what-
that.
That's what she told me to do with
Okay, I'll take care of that.
old, out of date equipment.
All right. Sounds
All right.
good. Is there any other news or information or questions from the public?
No, I don't see any.
All right, Brittany, do you have any bills that you need to have paid?
I need to make some bills, but in reality, it's not going to happen in the next couple days. So I will wait to submit in January.
Okey-dokey. So you're just gonna send me the budget?
I'm going to send you the budget worksheet and the budget narrative.
All right, the budget worksheet is a PDF, right? So I'll have to. It's gonna have to be a PDF, right?
I can make it a JPEG if you want.
No, yeah, I'll have to just figure that all out.
Okay. Yeah, I'll send the budget worksheet as a PDF and I'll send the budget narrative as a Word doc. So if you want to make any changes, you can. Sound
Sounds
good?
good. Sounds
Okay.
good. All right. Are we set? Are we good? Roger, you okay?
Yeah. You want me to make a motion to adjourn?
Yes, please make a motion to
I
adjourn.
think you have to.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I second it. We will adjourn the meeting at 7:01.